realize cracking doesn't do anything to them. So, they forget about it. Now, would you say he's in a working trot now?
No.
No. Obviously, he needs to be much more active. So the first thing you need to do is send him on forward. Just make it much more active. Much more active. And keep the slack out of the line. There we go, like that. But now a little more active. So once again, that's the position we want right there. Working over his back right there. But it needs a little more swing in. Now add a little more. Make him move a little more active. Like that. Come on. There. Beautiful. This horse is easy. But once again, they want to go in the right position. As soon as we ask them, it's people that stop them from working correctly by thinking that they need to be in some different frame than that they can be, depending on their level of fitness. There you go. There's how I want it. Now see how that underside of his neck is now loosened up, so he's not pulling himself with his shoulders anymore. And you see there's a little bit of lift in his back. Look how nicely there's a lot more compression in his hind leg now. And remember when you go back and study this little tape, remember how high the knee action was when we started, when he was hollow? Now you're starting to see more swing through the shoulder and the back and the front end. Look closely now, and you'll see that the front and back end are moving exactly together. Can you see that?
Yeah.
How different that looks? Okay, that's a horse working through his back. That's what you must always have every day. It takes 2 years to fully develop a horse's top line to the point that they can begin to develop collection. Anybody here know what collection means? You've all heard that term, right?
I've heard of.
Any ideas?
Don't know how to define it.
Okay. Once a horse it's so funny because I actually embarrassed a top professional a few weeks ago who was riding this horse badly, and I asked him to define collection for me. And this is somebody who says he's a Grand Prix rider, and he said, oh, well, he couldn't answer the question. Just couldn't answer the question. It's very simple. Once a horse is engaging through its top line, collection is the degree to which the horse bends and lowers the three joints of the hind leg, compressing those joints. But that only will work correctly if you try to get compression without longitudinal bend first. The horse will destroy its hocks. That's why all these horses are having to have hock injections at 6 years old. But now, doesn't he look more beautiful?
Far more.
Doesn't that look more like something you'd like to ride?
Yes.
Send it on a little bit. That's it. Try to keep the slack out of the line all the time. There's where I want it, right out there in a big circle just like that. Now that's the size of the circle. Now look how it's beginning to become cadenced. There's a little more push off the ground, as I said. When he's right, you can see that shoulder swinging freely. We want the whole length of the neck. So over 2 years' time, working correctly, a horse of any age, this is how every horse should be started at 2, but it doesn't matter. 6, 10, 27, it doesn't matter. It takes 2 years to do the same work. What happens is over that 2 years, the top line develops, and those longissimus muscles along the neck actually pull the withers up through the shoulders, and now the horse will look like it's standing uphill. As you used to think, oh, there's a horse that looks like it's built uphill.
Right.
Well, you get them that way by developing their muscles, not because they're just built like that. Yes, some are more uphill than others. Try to keep the slack out of the line, get him back in the stretch again. A little more active. Take a little contact. Every time he's hollow, then you want to bring the forehand in just a little bit. So every time he loses the frame, you want to take a little contact with the rein, though. Bring the shoulder in a little bit, like that. Little contact with the rein. Keep him moving out into the contact, like that. There, there, there. There's where you want it. Send it on again. You need to shorten your line and walk a little more with him, the way you saw me doing. So you're kind of covering a little more ground yourself so that you can be closer to him and work him a little more actively off the whip there. So again, the whip is your leg, and if you can't touch the horse with your leg, you can't tell him to go anywhere. The same thing is true of the whip. If you can't get to him, once in a while they need to feel the touch of the lash in order to understand what it does, or to have some amount of respect for it. Yeah, like that. That's beautiful, right there. Now go ahead and change directions. If you can get this horse like this every day, he'll look like a different horse in 2 months. You'll be amazed at how different the horse will look. Because that may have been the first time